Hello, and welcome to Speed Feed. My name is Kimani Bogwa, and thank you so much for tuning in. Those of you who are here already, and I know most of you are also joining in. That countdown before we went live. Anticipating, and this is so great. Thank you so much for those of you who've been watching. Make sure you share this video with your friends so that more people can come and watch Speed Feed. As I said, we are on episode 3, and this is where we'll be talking about trending things, stories that are trending, things that are trending from news to politics to entertainment to viral stuff that's going viral on the internet. There's a video I want you guys to watch after this. Oh no, keep watching the Speed Feed stream, but it's here on our Facebook page on Kenyans.co.ke of on the southern bypass. Apparently, a herd of buffaloes was spotted there, and people were stopping with their cars on the road to just watch a herd of buffaloes, which came very close to the road on the southern bypass, which borders Nairobi National Park. Yeah, so it's a very interesting video down there. Some of the things that are happening right now, but a lot has happened since yesterday and since this morning. It's a busy news day, so let's just get straight into the Speed Feed to see some of the things that we're talking about. And you can be following the feed from here. Yes, these are some of the things we'll be talking about. And first things first, the first story this morning: Kiambaa MP Paul Koinange died at Nairobi Hospital due to COVID-19 complications, and he has been the MP for Kiambaa since 2017, and President Uhuru Kenyatta mourned him and said the country lost a dependable leader. Now, Paul Koinange was also President Uhuru and Citizen TV's Jeff Koinange's cousin. That's why, his name is Koinange, so they're related to the three of those. Moving on, as Kenyans continue to receive the first dose of AstraZeneca vaccine, there might be a delay in getting the second dose because India, where we are getting the vaccine from, has put a temporary hold on major exports of the vaccine. However, doctors have said that the delay in receiving the second dose will not affect the effectiveness of the first virus. So in case you receive the first dose of AstraZeneca, doctors are saying that it's not going to affect the efficiency of the vaccine, because the second one is just a booster shot for the first one. But they're anticipating a delay in when Kenya will receive the second dose of the vaccines. All right. In other news, DP William Ruto and his wife, Rachel Ruto, posted pictures receiving the COVID-19 vaccine and encouraged other Kenyans to do so. However, there was a conversation and debate online as to which vaccine he received, because this health worker who's vaccinating him appeared to be the same one that vaccinated lawyer Ahmed Nasir with the Sputnik 5 vaccine, the Russian vaccine, which has been a bit controversial. He didn't say which vaccine he received, but that was just a debate that people were discussing online. Which vaccine did he receive? But he was vaccinated together with his wife. And Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka appeared on an interview on Citizen TV yesterday. This is a trending story. And so a section of his interview answering a question on what he will do on his first 100 days has been trending. So this particular video here has been trending online. He made a mistake and responded with his first 100 years instead of first 100 days. But he corrected himself. But Kenyans will always jump on that trend and start going at him for it. But he went on to add that he would make fighting corruption top of his first 100 days agenda and promised to have some people put in jail if he was to be elected president. That's what he would do in his first 100 days. On to some political news. We're going to be here for just a couple of stories on politics. And I want to get your comments on this. Talk to me about the vaccine. Have you received the vaccine? I've seen different people talk on social media about their experience after receiving the vaccine. A lot of people have said there are no side effects. Some say there's a bit of side effects. We would like to know. For the rest of us who have not been vaccinated, maybe you can let us know what to expect. Yeah. And also tell us what you think about this story. So, sources close to ODM leader Raila Odinga say that he is hatching a plan to counter the One Kenya Alliance and the Hustler movement. So he is said to be in talks with some leaders from Ukambani, like Machakos Governor Alfred Mutua and Kitui's Charity Ngilu. He also is in talks with leaders from other different regions, although it's not clear whether an alliance will be forming. But what do you guys think will be Raila's next move? Yeah, first, do you think he is serious? He's serious about being in the ballot next year, or do you think he's gonna leave that mantle to someone else? Let's talk in the comment section. All right, I'm gonna be reading your comments after this story because after the next story, because we have a couple of political stories here. Now, another political update is that the High Court has temporarily stopped the expulsion of Isaac Mwaura from the Jubilee Party, which had expelled the nominated senator on disciplinary grounds. So Isaac Mwaura moved to court to stop his expulsion from the Jubilee Party after the party decided to expel some of its members who had appeared to be defecting to UDA. Yeah, some of them have already left the party, but Isaac Mwaura moved to court to stop his expulsion. What do you guys think about that? Yeah, let me tell you about the next story, and then you're going to, we're going to be reading some of your comments. So if you haven't commented, leave us a comment now. Yeah, what do you think about the BBI reggae? Because BBI Secretariat co-chairs Dennis Oyeru and Junet Mohammed. So yesterday, they disputed claims that the BBI Secretariat had been closed and all its functions moved to the office of the president. So the speculation had raised suspicion that the BBI reggae is dead. But the two insisted that the BBI reggae is still on and we will have a referendum by June. Do you guys agree with them? Or rather, do you believe them that the BBI is still on course and we will have a referendum by June? Now this is the last day of March, so we are going to April, then May, then June. So we literally have April, May, and then June. So about 2 months to the said referendum. I want to get your thoughts on this. Do you think BBI has died down, especially now that we are in the second lockdown and focus has now shifted to other things apart from the BBI? Let's talk on the comment section. I'm going to whip out my phone right now and start reading some of your comments here on the speed feed. Yes, talk to us. Talk to us and let us know what are your thoughts there. Let's look at some of your comments. Yeah. Sorry about I don't know, sometimes I forget to mute my phone when I'm coming on there. A lot of things happen before we go live. Anyway, Mr. Kinoti is always here and he's saying Kalonzo anakuanga tu amechanganyikiwa kama kawaida. Talking about that story when Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka appeared on Citizen and he said his first 100 years instead of first 100 days. Well, yeah, that was a bit of a moment. Roddy D says, luckily... you don't watch TV, but you've seen the clip doing rounds. Kalonzo was confidently promising that the first 100 years of his presidency shall be pure bliss. 100 years? Weary face. Ogopa sana huyo jamaa. You see, he never grows old. That's a good point. Because yeah. How old is he? He's almost 70. And he doesn't seem to grow as old as people expect him to. Trick says he vaccine watu wanapewa wapi? Pia mimi nataka. Yeah, if you haven't received the vaccine, if you want to receive the vaccine, right now there are public hospitals that have been approved to offer the vaccine around the country. But if you walk into any level 4 hospital, they should be able to be offering the vaccination services. But then again, you must be in the priority list. So if you're not above the age of 60 or probably around 55, if you're not a health worker, if you're not a teacher, if you're not in the police forces, you're probably not going to be top of the priority list. But again, people have been saying that, if people who are in the priority list don't want to be vaccinated, then people who are not in the priority list and want to be vaccinated can go ahead and be vaccinated. Know what you think about that, yeah? Do you think that should be okay? Yeah, let me switch over to YouTube right now. Some of you are watching us on YouTube live. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel because we are live. Let me read some of your comments on YouTube. All right. Yeah, you're still getting on YouTube right now. Let's move on with the speed feed. Yeah, leave us a comment on Facebook. Our YouTube people are not commenting right now. Yeah, leave us a comment on YouTube. Sorry. Now, On to other news. Tanzania police said that 45 people died during a stampede that happened at a stadium in Dar es Salaam when citizens were viewing the body of the late President Magufuli. Now, you probably had seen the story. We even ran it on Kenyans.co.ke that 5 members of the same family died. But now the Tanzanian police have said that 45 people died. It wasn't just 5 people who died during that incident, and most of them died due to suffocation, due to lack of oxygen. On to the next on Speed Feed. Ruben Kigame, you might know him. He's a popular gospel musician. Now, he shocked the internet yesterday when he tweeted that in the event of his death, no government official from the copyright societies should be allowed at his funeral because he has suffered enough under them. He went on to express his disappointment with MCSK and Prisk, who have been withholding royalties from him since 2009. Now, he also shared that he only received about 10,000 shillings from these agencies, despite his music getting huge airplay on TV and radio. Shocking news, right? And speaking of radio, Shafi Weru. Now, he is trending right now as we speak on Twitter. A lot of people are talking about this story because there's a new twist to it, and I'm just going to tell you that in a bit. Now, Shafi Weru is reported to have threatened to sue Radio Africa for wrongful termination and is demanding 21 million shillings from them in the next 7 days, failure to which he will proceed to court. Now, this post by NTV showed that Shafi was apparently being paid a gross salary of 680,000 shillings, which is presumed to be the number that was used to calculate how much he is demanding in damages. Now, on the same note, Radio Africa this morning updated on the Star that they will be countering Shafi's lawsuit. They'll be counter-suing Shafi Weru. Now, they are demanding to be paid 150 million shillings. Yeah? This is in damages for loss of business and damaged reputation, thanks to Shafi's actions. So the company stated that this was in response to the demand letter that Shafi and his lawyer sent. And they said that Shafi contravened company policies and his employment contract. I don't know how you guys think this will end. Who do you think stands a chance here? And I've seen a lot of debate on social media. Let me just get on there right now on Twitter because it's a huge topic. It's been trending since last week, since last Friday, all weekend, and people have been talking about this. And now the sue and counter-sue, Radio Africa says Shafi owes them 150 million shillings. And he's saying he needs to be paid 21 million shillings for wrongful termination. Now, the other 2 presenters from the Homeboys morning show, Gija Joe Mfalme and Neville, have not. We haven't received any news of them, suing or threatening to go to court. This is the one we have. In fact, Shafi is trending at number 2 right now on Twitter. And let's see some of the comments that people are having right now. Let me get. Okay, so there's a tweet here at Aleki Moja. He says, let's pray that Shafi's case against Radio Africa by any chance doesn't go before Judge Njoki Ndogo. Because it will end in premium tears. Well, that is in case the case goes to the Supreme Court, but do you think it can get to the Supreme Court? I don't think so. This is just my personal opinion, but that's his opinion. Let me get some more thoughts from people. Yeah. There's a lot of debate on social media. And so, at Mwanga is just saying, LMAO, Radio Africa will file a counterclaim suit against Shafi. Let the games begin. Totally here for it. And okay, somebody here at AMEN says Shafi is wrong in doing what he did, but what's worse has been done and said before him isn't news anymore. Open your eyes, Kenyans. Well, Yeah, those are some of the comments that people are having. He's trending at number 2, so there's a lot of people who are talking about this case. And let me just get on to your to see some of your comments right now on Facebook. Yeah, leave us a comment because we are live on Facebook before we continue on the feed. And you can see what we're talking about here before we continue. Let's see. Let me just refresh my comments. My phone is misbehaving, so let me just leave it for now. Let's just continue with some of the stories on the speed feed. But before we continue with other trending news, a story by The Star indicates that the recent call by Health CS Mutahi Kagwe appealing to Kenyans who are holding oxygen was targeted at senior government officials and VIPs who are holding oxygen in their homes. So this particular story here alleged that a member of parliament showed his colleagues oxygen tanks he has in his house. He's been holding these oxygen tanks in case the worst comes to worst. So it's true. Rich people are actually holding oxygen tanks in their homes. I know most of you are asking themselves if their gas cookers were in the category, and you would ask yourself, why would a cabinet minister come to ask people to submit oxygen tanks? You know, I know the people were asking themselves that. We highlighted this yesterday, but it is because they said that a lot of rich people have been buying oxygen in bulk and holding it in their homes. Yeah, which is most likely going to cause a crisis. Anyway, changing gears, I think it's worth mentioning that Eric Omondi met with Devolution CS Eugene Wamalwa, and Twitter was a bit fascinated as to what they could have been talking about, especially after the government came at him for his show Wife Material. Now, the CS said they were discussing youth matters in Devolution and how to partner with artists in the fight against the pandemic, you know. So in case you were wondering, if you saw this picture and were wondering if Eric Omondi got a government job, maybe not yet, or not that we know of. All right, moving on. A driver captured a GK vehicle. Now, this is a video, and yeah, this was appalling. So this guy was driving on the wrong side of the road. And what is so annoying about this video is that there was no traffic on the other side. And this guy with a GK was driving on the wrong side of the road. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, you're so blatantly breaking traffic laws that you don't even have fear. I mean, how does this make you feel, guys? I don't know. Have you ever been in such a situation? You're driving on the right side of the road and suddenly a GK vehicle comes and drives against you in traffic? I see this a lot. But then again, now Kenyans are commenting on this. This video has been shared a lot of times, but we first saw it on Augustine Sang's Twitter. For those of you who don't know, Augustine Sang is a journalist at Nation. Yeah, he's the one who shared that video first. But that has gone viral, and I don't know how that makes you feel. Now, Kenyatta National Hospital, moving on fast on the speed feed. They tweeted these pictures of patients who are stranded at the hospital. And this tweet also gained a lot of traction. So if you know any of these people, kindly reach out to Kenyatta National Hospital, because a lot of people were confused as to how come they were not able to identify themselves. But the Kenyatta National Hospital did not offer any explanation. So in case you're seeing these people for the first time on speed feed, it's important we highlight that these people are stranded at Kenyatta National Hospital. And if you know them, you can reach out to the hospital. Moving on, in case you have ever been in a situation where you have been sold for fuel that's adulterated. So IPRA did a survey to test the quality of fuel being sold in most petrol stations around the country. And although 98% of stations were selling good fuel, they still found some stations in different parts of the country that were selling adulterated fuel. So I'm just going to mention, there's a list of about 10 petrol stations that were found selling adulterated fuel, but I'm just going to mention 3, just in case you have been in Embu of late and you fueled at Rani filling station in Embu, or you are in Busia and you fueled at Lexo Energy in Busia at the service station, or Half Moon filling station in Nakuru. If you went to any of those petrol stations and your car is jamming right now, that's because they've been selling you adulterated fuel. So IPRA says that these stations have been fined. All right, but it's also it's on some positive note though. They didn't find any station that was selling adulterated fuel in Nairobi, Kisumu, and Mombasa. On to the next one. Now, if you have been at City Hall, you probably noticed that some of the offices there are very old and they look dilapidated. Yeah, in case you go there to pay your licenses or to get services from the Nairobi County government, you've noticed the state of the offices at City Hall. That might change soon because, sometimes it's embarrassing sometimes when you go to the City Hall and find out that the capital city, our offices are very bad. But that might change soon because the County Assembly of Nairobi approved a plan to use 160 million shillings. 160 million shillings will be used to refurbish City Hall. Yeah. Do you think it's going to be a worthy expenditure? Yeah. Let's talk about it. Yeah. Let me check your comments at this particular time. I don't want to make you feel alienated because we are many. We are legion on the stream. Let me refresh my stream right now. And also, just to update you, as I started, I told you guys about a story about buffaloes that were spotted on the Southern Bypass, which borders Nairobi National Park. Yeah. And that video has warmed my heart. A positive story in the midst of many negative stories that a lot of people are talking about right now. Yeah, Mr. Kinoti, thank you Mr. Kinoti is a big fan. He says 160 million shillings for refurbishing. Oi, even though iliendanga. I feel I don't know. It feels like a lot of money. Well, is this also the time to refurbish? A lot of questions towards this story. I don't know. If you live in Nairobi, what do you think about this? Mr. Procel says, these GK vehicles break more rules than other road users. It's about time something happened. What do you think should happen? Yeah, because it's just appalling to see. Yeah, you're talking about that story of the video just showed you guys of that motorist who was driving a GK and was driving on the wrong side of the road. Roddy D on the story about Shafi, you're saying, the odds are against Shafi. The regulator has sanctioned him already. His employer is also sanctioned by the regulator owing to his misconduct. His employer has suffered reputational damage and loss of revenue. The country is agreed that at least in principle that his speech was repugnant. The guy already apologized. Is it not over for him? Good question. If you apologize, does that mean you're admitting guilt? And will that be used against you? I will leave that to the lawyers. If you're a lawyer and watching this, let me know in the comment section. Marvin Chege, 682,500 shillings. Yeah, that is apparently Shafi Weru's salary at Radio Africa. You're saying Radio Africa 1, Shafi Weru 1. I don't know what you guys feel about that. Brand Moore says, sad indeed, but beyond that, I thought first COVID monies, 100 million to be precise, went to Asani. Oh. I think he's talking about Reuben Kigame's story, because Reuben Kigame said that no government official or official from music copyright societies should speak at his funeral or should even attend his funeral because they have been withholding his royalties. Yes, I'm reading your comments right now, so get on and comment on the feed. We are live on Facebook. Jay is saying, so basically Shafi Weru was earning a basic salary slightly above $500,000 and he was humble. Yet me, a mere student who receives an M-Pesa transaction of 200 makes me feel like Dangote. I can relate. Yeah, because when you're broke and you're in school and you receive even 1,000 shillings on your M-Pesa, yeah, makes you feel like you can buy the whole school. Yeah. But I don't know what was the point of revealing his gross salary though. I don't know. Yep. Let's see some of the other comments. Angel J. Hart says, hi from Australia. Oh, you guys are watching this from Australia. Hi, guys from Australia. How y'all doing? How y'all doing from Australia? That is my very bad attempt at doing an Aussie accent. Although I love Aussie, man, though. Yeah. All right. There's some of the comments that are coming right now. Let me switch on to YouTube. On to our YouTube feed. Let's see. I'm trying to refresh because I'm reading this comments live. So allow me to just refresh my phone and check out some of your comments right now on our stream as we continue to talk about some of the stories that are trending today. Yeah, I don't know what's happening with my phone and YouTube. It's not updating the comments on YouTube. Sorry. So guys from my team, yeah, one of you should just send me the comments that people are reading on YouTube, that people are commenting on YouTube, so I can read them now. All right, but I want to move on to the speed feed. So this is a good story from one of our sponsors and one of Kenya's leading gaming companies, Mozartbet. They yesterday donated PPEs worth 4 million shillings to the National Police Service to help police stay protected as they do law enforcement work during this COVID period. And the PPE donations included isolation gowns, gloves, shoe covers, and 3-ply face masks with shields and disposable bags, which will help the police in doing their work. They've been doing some good work, Mozartbet. Yeah, they've also donated ICU equipment, beds, oxygen machines to different hospitals around Nairobi. They did that in Mukuru Hospital in Nairobi, and also in Dandora, and also at Pumwani Hospital. There's some good work they've been doing there. Yes, and there's some of our clients here, our advertisers here on Kenyans. So yeah, go check them out. Earlier in the week, you might have seen a communication going around social media coming from the Association of Kenyan Professional Insurance Agents saying that insurance claims of accidents that happen past curfew will be voided. So this did not sit well with a lot of motorists, and the Insurance Regulation Authority responded in a statement today saying that insurance policies have exclusions, but curfew hours is not one of them. So this, in essence, calmed fears that motorists had that in case you're caught by curfew outside and an accident happens, your insurance provider will not be covering that cost. So that was a fear that a lot of motorists were expressing, and IRA says that you shouldn't worry about that, because you might understand, if you use Jogoo Road or Thika Road, you might notice that during curfew, sometimes the traffic has not ended by the time curfew starts. You might find yourself in traffic, especially now that curfew has been moved to 8. You will still find a lot of people out around 8:30 or between 8 and 9 trying to get home at that time. And a lot of people were expressing their fears that now if an accident happens at that time, will you be covered? But they have addressed that issue, which a lot of people were talking about. Yeah. So those are some of the trending stories, some of what people have been talking about, updates on what's happening. We've talked about politics, we've talked about the vaccine, we've talked about Shafi Weru. Yes, we've talked about insurance, we've talked about TZ. Yeah, and many more things. And also, I want to remind you to go watch that video. It's here on our Facebook page if you're watching us live on Facebook. After this stream, yeah, scroll down and watch that video of motorists looking at buffaloes on the side of the road. All right, let me see. Let me refresh my YouTube once again and just try to get your comments before we end Speed Feed. And I want to thank you so much for watching. Ivy on YouTube is saying, good job, Mozartbet. Yes, that's on a positive note. Yeah, they supplied, I was at covering one of the events where they were supplying oxygen tanks or oxygen concentrators at Pumwani, and the hospital said that they were in dire need of those machines, and it goes a long way to help. Anyway, I think we have come to the end of the show. Thank you so much for keeping me company and coming on here to watch Speed Feed. That is what is happening around the country, some of the stories that are trending. Asanteni sana. Please let me remind you, don't forget to come back here every weekday at 2 p.m. We'll be talking about trending stories and trending things. Don't forget to leave us a like and subscribe to our YouTube as well and our Facebook as well. Tafadhali, and share this video so that someone who has your friends who have not watched Speed Feed can come on here, yeah, and join the bandwagon. Speed Feeders. Should we call ourselves Speed Feeders? I don't know. You guys, let me know. All right, so that's the end of Speed Feed. We'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye.